Good morning, guys. I have an apple here. How can you tell this apple is genetically modified? I'm James. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and also a trained food scientist. So I want us to know, how can you tell a fruit or a produce is genetically farmed? Here in this apple, I will demonstrate. But how do you tell a product is GMO or not? You can only tell that if the product has applied PLU labeling. PLU labeling is what helps you to know whether a produce is farmed organically or genetically modified. I use this. This fruit has it's an apple from South Africa. When you look at this apple is pink lady apple from South Africa. It has a code here starting with #4128. This code means we don't have the 5-digit number, so this fruit doesn't apply PLU labeling. But if, let's assume, it did apply that, after the E hash, you get letter H there, or letter 9, then 4128. So it will have 5-digit number, but here we have 4. So how can you tell if this apple is genetically modified? If it had the 5-figure numbers, if it is genetically modified, this digit would start with 8, then 4128. If this fruit was organic farmed, it will start with 95128. That's how you can only tell whether the fruit is genetically modified. The only problem with this is the labeling, or PLU labeling, is not mandatory. It's not mandatory for us to label our produce whether they are organic or genetically modified. Like you see here in this case of this apple, I have an apple here. This apple is not labeled. There's no labeling to indicate whether it's organic or found, or it's even its origin. There's no labeling. So just from the market, when you make an apple, let's come to this apple now. I've said that the only you can tell if this kind of fruit has 5-digit number, and if it's organic, it starts with 9. If it's genetic modified, it starts with an 8. That's the only way you can tell, or of any kind of food product or food produce, that it's GMO or organically farmed. Now the question is, how can we say that we have not consumed food that is genetically modified? Well, in most cases, these foods not be labeled whether they are organic or genetically modified, especially maize. Most of the time, we don't produce enough maize in Kenya, and wheat and all the other major cereals that we consume in Kenya. In many times, we are importing them from other countries. But not asking ourselves, how can we tell this kind of food produce or fruits or cereals are genetically modified or organically modified? We know very well that we can say that it's illegal to bring genetically modified to Kenya. But we also know that even bank is illegal in Kenya, but people are consuming. We know corruption is illegal in Kenya, but we know that we are always having corruption cases all along. So it's not that simple. It's not very simple for us to tell whether we have not consumed genetically modified. And I agree with President Ruto when he said that we have been consuming genetically modified. It's only that we didn't know. And this is not a thing of Kenya Kwanza. It's a thing that they have been there. Anytime we report maize, we are not. No one is there to check whether to confirm, because come on, KEBS is a big joke by the Nasiko buyer. You know very well what happens. We have seen many times food product. Remember, we had a problem with Johnson & Johnson. The Johnson & Johnson baby powder was banned in 2010, but it has been in shelves for a very long time. So you can tell Kenya is a big joke. And the question is GMO bad or not? The option, and the question that we always ask is that, given a choice of life and death, would you eat GMO or not? Or you say, let me starve to death? The other question is, if we are not to farm genetically modified crops in Kenya, then we must ask for patents. We cannot be slaves of Monsanto, because Monsanto is not a very good company. We must learn how to produce our own seeds, because we know that the West want us to be consumers, not producers in the long run. So that's the biggest debate, actually, I would say, when it comes to farming our foods that are organic and GMOs. That's why I would oppose GMO, because I know once we become slaves of the West will control us. Let me know in the comment section. At least najua umesoma kitu.